They're saying I'm doing all these crazy things. And your boy, I had to leave the country because it was getting crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? I had to pull a Carmen Sandiego on y'all because they're trying to say I'm doing all these crazy things. And I done gave y'all all of this music. All of this music. You know what I mean? It's Hove. Well, anyway, we're going to get into this video right now. And it's going to be coming from my boy Poetic Flacco about how they're trying to say that I'm doing all of these crazy things. Let's get into the video.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bruh. What's been going on with Jay-Z as of lately is starting to make me feel uncomfortable. It's starting to make me feel like uneasy inside. Something nasty and odd is going on here. I just can't put my fingers on it. We all, for the most part, at varying degrees, believe or don't believe, these Jay-Z and Epstein rumors. Bickering among ourselves on whether or not we believe these Jay-Z and Epstein rumors in the Epstein files is one thing. But when a white man put on a suit and starts slow talking and accusing you of things this horrific, that's another story.
We are now bringing you the raw, unfiltered testimony of a woman who stared into the abyss of elite depravity and lived to speak of it. In the heart of Nigeria, far from the red carpets and sold-out arenas, she explains how a world-famous American music icon has turned her land into his private hunting ground. Human safaris, satanic blood rites, trafficking networks that feed on the darkest appetites of the global elites. These are not rumors whispered in back alleys. They are the lived nightmares of survivors who have escaped, and the silent graves of those who did not.
I'm a mother, a widow.
Man, to me, it's like we have to have a story. It's just not, it's like, what a coincidence. First, they got Diddy up out of here, and now it's Hove. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is sad. It really is sad. I'm tripping. My damn keyboard, because I use my keyboard for work and I use it for my other computer, but...
And a survivor who's dedicated my life to helping other victims here in Nigeria. I speak plainly because the truth can't hide behind fancy words anymore. The American music star everyone treats like a god, Jay-Z, is no hero. He's a predator. He's been coming to Nigeria for years. First with Jeffrey Epstein on those private jets, then alone.
A lot of people already know this, but if you guys don't know, a celebrity's worst nightmare is getting caught in British tabloids. These people are professional liars, but their accents and how they enunciate and articulate themselves will make you think they're actual professional reporters, when in fact, they're just trolls and liars. Ask Meghan Markle. These people will lie you with no shame. Right? Where did this African woman come from? What's her name? What organization is she with? What's her experience with Jay-Z? How does she know these things?
Right.
I'll be real, bro. I'm teetering on this is AI or this is a paid actor, because it doesn't make sense whatsoever, right?
Yeah, I will say too, this couldn't be a worse time being a celebrity with all this AI shit out here, because anybody can take, y'all just heard me in the beginning of the video, like I have a good Jay-Z impersonation or a good impression of Jay-Z, his voice at least. You might not have really been able to hear it that well, but if you hear me in person, it's even better. But needless to say, I could sound like Jay-Z and go and make some sort of fake call that I made, and people will run with that. So it's just really bad. You know what I mean?
Teetering on AI, because if this was an interview or a conversation, then why don't we hear anybody else's voice other than that lady's voice? It doesn't make sense whatsoever. But she will go on to say that Jay-Z is a predator, that he came on the planes with Epstein. How do you know that Jay-Z came on flights with Epstein? Like, what's your expertise? I don't know, right? Because if this random woman in Africa knows that Jay-Z and Epstein landed in Africa together, then why don't the world know yet, right? It doesn't make sense whatsoever. But she will go on to continue to accuse Jay-Z of some of the most horrific things, right? Such as blood sacrifices, among other things.
Then with other celebrities, actors, singers, billionaires, they don't come for music, charity, or culture. They come to hunt children, child safaris. What if foreigners pay big money to chase our children through the bush like animals? they shoot for fun. When the hunt ends, the real evil starts. Satanic
I do hear some
rituals,
stuff in the back.
blood
It sounds like
ceremonies,
she's in the middle of a
bodies used in
busy
different
traffic
ways I
area.
can't bring myself to repeat. They celebrate it all, toasting like it's a game. In Nigeria, these men are feared. Their names shuts people up. Politicians take bribes and look away. Police vanish when the convoys arrive. No one speaks out openly. I know this because I survived it myself. Years ago, my brother and I were taken by Epstein and his friend Bono during one of their visits here. We were used, abused, and barely escaped with our lives. The trauma never fully leaves, but it turned me into someone who fights back.
What she's describing is Squid Games, where these high, powerful, influential people, they come and they pay people to essentially go into the safari and hunt and chase people and kill them as they watch kids being hunted and killed because, it gives them enjoyment. It's like Squid Games, like where the high, powerful people come to this game place and they sit and they watch people get murdered and killed in a game because, they just enjoy it. If a real life Squid Games was happening, again, I'm not putting it past the rich and famous. Trust me, bruh. All right? I don't put nothing past the rich and famous. But for us to publish this and for it to get millions of views on Twitter, you would think there would at least be more proof outside of.
What do Charlemagne be saying? Nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining. That's his favorite thing to say. And that's exactly what's going on here. Now, again, I'm not caping. I'm not saying that. I'm saying alleged, you know what I'm saying? Because you say the wrong things, they can get you canceled out here. But, I mean, we just don't know. You feel me? Like, there's not enough concrete evidence out there these are just accusations or whatever. None of this stuff is really, like, solid. You know what I mean? Until we can get some sort of like proof or whatever, it's just like all left up to speculation or whatever. Now, from what I understand, he left the country. So that does kind of make it look like, okay, why would you leave if you didn't do anything? You feel me? But he could have his own reasons. I mean, who the hell wants to be in America right now? This place is a mess. Not just for regular folks, but even for celebrities. They don't want to be bothered with this bullshit either.
This woman said it outside of like this random voice. Why is this woman not being found? Why is she not doing more interviews? Why is this woman not on national television? Why is she not on Oprah? Why is this woman anonymous if she got proof and evidence? The rich and famous, such as Jay-Z, right? Because she mentions Jay-Z by name, that Jay-Z and Epstein is hopping off planes in in Africa to engage in kid safari chases where they're paying to watch people hunt down kids and shoot and kill them in a safari. Wouldn't this be bigger news? Right? But there's actual people online right now on Twitter who's buying this up. They're eating this up. This is when I realized people have never been this stupid. All right? People have never been this dumb. That lie that the average IQ increases as the years go on, as the generations go on, the average IQ increases. I'm starting to think that's all cap, bruh. Because people can't be getting smarter. Folks are literally online in the quote tweets. I told y'all he was a. And it's like, bruh, come on, man. This is uncomfortable. Because if somebody can literally sit home and craft up something like this that's so BS, and people will buy it, there's no hope for the rest of us, bro. It's only a matter of time until some troll cook up something believable enough to where we got to now defend ourselves against blood sacrifice rumors.
Now I help other victims. I listen to their stories, connect them to safe places, and keep records of what's happening. My friend's daughter, Temi, she was only 14, doing well at high school, so full of hope. One evening, she didn't come home from school. Days of agony for her family. Then one morning, she was dumped at their gate, alive but shattered, scars on her body, emptiness in her eyes. She described the estates, being haunted, the children who didn't survive the rituals. They released her as a warning to increase our fear. They are saying, we can take anyone anytime. Most who are taken never return. They're trafficked out, sold across borders, used for organs or worse. People call our traditions savage, primitive. But these rich foreigners, they hunt children for sport and drink blood in their rituals. That's not civilization. That's pure evil on a level we never dreamed. I'm not staying silent. Silence protects him and his network. The world dances to his music while our children vanish. He performs on stage with his Satan worshipping wife with our blood on his hands. I speak for Temi, for the ones who didn't make it back, and for every family still waiting. God allowed me to survive Epstein's world so I could help end this nightmare here. If this
Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I like you got a lot to lose here. You feel me? Your kids, your wife, your reputation, all of that. You haven't really been putting out music like that anymore. So, and not that you would need to, but this right here, like this is the last thing that you need on your resume. Like you was able to, sell the idea of being in the street when you were young through your music. But this is not something that you can rap about and get away with it. Nah.
what reach someone who can act, investigate, expose, stop it, then maybe the hunt end. Maybe more children come home safe. A survivor doesn't stop fighting. Neither do I.
It wasn't until recently I began to kind of understand Jay-Z's silence. Because, when you read the comments is like, we believe this, right? With no proof, no evidence whatsoever, we believe it. They're like, they're posting pictures like this, which I believe is AI, if I'm not mistaken. But they're posting, like, apparently this is like the Jay-Z, a Jay-Z school got opened up in Africa at some point. So they're saying this is proof, but this is not Jay-Z. I don't believe so, but apparently they're saying that's, and that's Jay-Z.
All of this is fake.
They're posting pictures like this of Jay-Z riding on a camel. Again, maybe this is real. I just never seen it before.
No, it is not.
Jay-Z visiting Africa does not really prove these rumors to be true, to be honest. But
I'm telling you, man, this AI shit is dangerous. Why we ain't never seen no pictures of Jay-Z with a head wrap and stuff like that? The most I've seen Jay-Z with something wrapped around his head was a T-shirt during his early 2000s run with a jersey on. That's the only time I've seen a nigga with a head wrap on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this garbage?
They're saying that Jay-Z was given the chief title in the Kawa state. People who are convinced that Jay-Z is the devil and want to believe this, they're using prior interviews or prior statements from other people that has nothing to do with this allegation to back up this allegation as an alibi. One of the interviews they're using is a Jason Whitlock episode where Jason Whitlock had a guest on, and this guest claims that he's seen Jay-Z and Beyonce do some weird stuff and kids disappeared. It was also a really heavy allegation at the time, but with this new allegation, it makes that allegation look like kids play.
When Jay was going after B was a very young woman. Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the wintertime of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house, and we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play, and after the game, it had to have been like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this, because I'm hearing stories, I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually involving children.
Yeah. Now, that story seems a little more believable than, you know, the story that surfaced recently. And the reason why you kind of have to give credibility to some of this, it can't just dismiss everything, is because Jay-Z hasn't filed any lawsuits yet. Yo, if somebody did this or said this, right, on a platform, wouldn't it make sense that you go after them? Because, you know, Larry Johnson is not a nobody. He's a somebody, right? He's an ex-pro athlete. You know, he probably has, I don't know, a couple $100,000 to his name. You could go after him and prove your innocence, especially if he's including your wife in this. But they're not suing. They're not going after anybody. They're just kind of being quiet and letting it float under the radar. If somebody come on a podcast and said this about me, in regards to children, I'm suing you. Like, I don't care how much it costs. I'm suing you, bro. I'm taking it there. But the most we've seen Jay-Z and Beyonce step up was when Jaguar Wright went on Piers Morgan and accused Jay-Z of murdering Aaliyah. That's when they finally stepped up and sent a cease and desist to Piers Morgan to take it down. So you can file a cease and desist with Jaguar Wright when it comes to Aaliyah allegations, but you can't go after people who are accusing you of dealing with children. To me, that's where it kind of gets suspicious at. Now, another terrible aspect of Jay-Z's day, outside of these allegations, is essentially like this LaRussell and Jay-Z's situation, right? So LaRussell announces on the Breakfast Club that he has officially signed to Jay-Z. Now, while he was announcing it, he tells the Breakfast Club that his mama told him, you know, that his mama was really worried about him meeting Jay-Z and dealing with Jay-Z due to the online rumors about Jay-Z, which already shows the allegations itself is affecting how folks are perceiving Jay-Z. But after LaRussell announced he signed and tells the mama story, people then take to social media in droves to bring hate towards LaRussell's way for even affiliating with Jay-Z and Roc Nation.
So you thinking of signing with Roc Nation this time around?
You know, I'm officially signed to Roc Nation.
Hey, wow.
Congratulations. Cheesing like hell up in that picture, man. He happy as hell.
It means I now have support beyond just my homies and somebody who truly believe in what I'm doing, who's already done what I've done to show me the path. You know, I've gotten to a point of so much success independently where I'm from that I lost my guides. You know, I surpassed a lot of people who did what I've done, so we've been doing this with no blueprint, no map, no route. Like I'm the first in my family to ever perform at Super Bowl and curate a house band. And you know, all of this is a first. And Hove has been here and done it. So it just gives us a different level of infrastructure. And I'm still indie. I still own all my masters. I still spend my pay. I still do what I want. But now I have a support where, like, I'm from the Bay is going to radio. I've never been able to get to radio. You know, it's just a different system. And as soon as we agree, like, man, let's work, they were instantly like, we believe in this record. We willing to take it to radio. I've had partnerships prior where they try to tell me it ain't worth it. Your song not worth going on radio until you get a TikTok moment or some viral train. It's like, why we count on TikTok to believe in something that we all believe in personally, you know?
What was the energy when you was with Hove and Emery and all those guys?
You see, just you asking that made me smile. Like that shows you like the presence and the energy. And prior to us going, my homie Splash was like, man, you gonna meet Hove today, like how you feeling? And I was telling him like, man, I'm conflicted because I honestly don't know who I'm gonna meet because of the Diddy thing and just meeting so many other people. And I was like, man, I'm nervous because I don't know who I'm gonna meet. Am I gonna meet like someone that I'm like, man, this is what I hope for? Like, damn, another one. And it was everything beyond. Like who social media and the internet make Hove out to be is so far from what it is. Just from my interpretation, I can only go off my gauge and who I sat with and who I spoke with. You know, even before I went, my mama was like, "But what about all the YouTube videos?" And she was really worried and concerned.
Yeah.
You know, and I was telling her, like, man, one day I'm gonna be successful to the point where all those same videos gonna be about me.
Jay-Z has been famous for a long time, but this can't feel good, bruh. Like, you just signed a new artist who was one of, like, the most sought-after artists right now for a deal who was independent. You got the deal done, and the entire world is telling him he made a mistake by signing with you, right? One person says, the devil works hard, but no one works harder than Jay-Z. He's the black people's pimp, and you're officially the new hoe on the block. God bless America. Somebody says, it's a reason Meek Mill begged to get out of his contract with them even after they paid him to get out of jail. Give him his own label and started doing them criminal justice reform events in his name. Can the man only sign with them for 3 months before she left? Look at Breakfast Club doing cleanup. Every time like clockwork. Even the fake laughs are nasty. My God. Somebody says, prayers to this man's career. So people really, it can't feel good, right? Like, Jay-Z has to come out and talk to somebody, man. Do like a state of the culture address, because right now the culture has successfully turned on Jay-Z. Even people who defend Jay-Z, like the Breakfast Club, people have turned on them as well. Y'all let me know, man, what y'all think about this, man.
All right, I'm going to just end it there. But, yeah, he's going to have to eventually say something, because once this starts to affect Beyonce and that half of the situation, then that's when it's going to be a problem. Because we all know that there are a lot of people who are Beyonce stans. You feel me? They will go out their way. They will miss paying their rent to go see some Beyonce. So you being directly attached to her and y'all having kids, you know, that her name is now getting mixed up in all of this. So you're definitely going to have to speak to this and tell the people, you know, to get back in their good graces or whatever. Now, he may be behind the scenes doing something with his legal team to try to clear up his name, air everything out, but only time's going to tell. We just going to have to wait and see. But y'all get down in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, what you think about Jay and just this whole situation. Are you even listening to his music? I ain't gonna lie, I haven't really been listening to Jay that much. You know, just when I'm feeling nostalgic, I'll listen. But yeah, that being said, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you. As always, I put a lot into these videos, so it means a lot to me to see y'all watching it all the way through. Like I said, make sure you like, sub to the channel. It's your boy Robbie, and we're going to be out to the next video, y'all.